Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms in the mountains, North Carolina. It is day 9 without power here on the farm. And as you can see, it has not affected the comms area of Farpoint Farms. This studio is run off of a solar pack, and in a separate video I'll talk to you about some of the trials and tribulations of the solar setup that I have here at the house, how we have had to supplement it with generators and whatnot. But that's a different video. Today I want to talk to you about radios and their use in this disaster. So I am in Western North Carolina, most of which doesn't exist anymore. I'm blessed that our house was mostly spared, and I'll leave a link if you want to help donate for repair costs on the lower barn and the driveway. But there was some surprises. You know, the last time I went through a major hurricane was 1996. That was Hurricane Fran down in Raleigh. And while cell service existed at that point, it was non-existent immediately after the storm and for many weeks afterwards. I would have thought that with all the years that have gone on in between, we're looking at close to 30 years difference now, that cellular service would have had enough upgrades that it would have held up pretty well in a storm of similar magnitude. That was not the case. Cell service was down for the entire county, and while it is partially back, this end of the county does not have any working cell service at all still. So an ongoing issue there. The other big issue that I saw in 96 was the lack of communication in general. We had 680 WPTF there. They lost power for, I think, less than an hour throughout that whole storm. They must have some monster generators. They were able to keep going at a reduced power level, perhaps, but they were able to keep going. So that critical information that was needed was able to come out. This time around, our local AM station did not fare as well. It took them about 2 days, 2.5 days to get back online. And the vacuum of knowledge, the vacuum of information for those 2.5 days was somewhat surprising. It was staggering. No internet, no cell service, no information at all. It was all just, what did your neighbor hear? What did you hear? And so that was kind of a huge surprise. For me, out of all the radios that you see behind me and a couple others that I have, you know, I'm a huge fan of shortwave radio, huge fan of CB radio, GMRS radio over here, analog scanner here. Of course, my favorite CB radio, which is what many of you come to the channel to hear about, and then even ham radio as well, 2 meter and HF radio. So with all those at my disposal, and I'm blessed to have that in the middle of a storm to get that information, it was the scanner, analog scanner, that really helped me understand the scope of what was going on around me and how long that duration was likely to be. Because no matter what somebody says when they go out on TV or on camera and says, well, you know, we hope to have power restored by Wednesday, what they say to each other is far more important. And so here we are on day 9, and I can tell you that power is not going to be restored here anytime, I would say in the next 4 or 5 days from the looks of it. We're looking at probably, you know, Fran and I was without power for 14 days. I think we're going to get right on that number again here with this one up here in the mountains. So that's very interesting. This morning, and it's pretty early in the morning when I'm filming this, you don't hear a ton. Occasionally you'll hear a digital transmission, but many law enforcement, fire, emergency rescue, all those, and of course all of the help are using older analog radios. The police still have, you know, professional digital encrypted stuff for their police calls for police business, but for a lot of this stuff where even law enforcement and many times, you know, relies on cell service, that has all gone by the wayside. So a lot of analog radios are back on and back in operation. And so if I were going to talk to you about radio in a storm, the surprising change between 1996 and 2023 is that I feel like in this event, the shortwave radio has not been as helpful because it's global. The CB radio has been helpful only in the first 2 days, first day and a half. There was a lot of traffic from people who weren't normal users of CB radio, but were in need of information, and we were able to start our own little net back up here and help each other out. But that need has tapered off since AM radio came back on the air. The most helpful for me in keeping up with what is actually going on and where to find help if needed has been the scanner. And this was just I paid $20, I think, for that scanner, and I've had it for 5 or 6 years. And I mean, it's really been a valuable resource here. So when you are, I think I made a video some time ago called Top 3 Radios That I Would Own. And I talked about FRS, GMRS, and I talked about shortwave, and I talked about CB radio. And a couple of you chimed in with a scanner would be a good choice too. And that wasn't on my list, but now I'm moving that up the list. So perhaps later on this year or into the winter, I will make a video on why I feel like shortwave is still so important. And we are getting some traffic coming in on these. I've filmed a bunch on and off. You know, I have to be real mindful of power usage here. So I turn the camera on like right after a great conversation, and then it would kind of not need to having more conversation. So they didn't get the greatest stuff, but I do have some videos that I'll put out on the scanner here that you see going in the background. And as I'm speaking here, it is Friday the 4th. There is a major solar storm coming in. I think it's supposed to hit tonight and probably taper off on Sunday. That is going to wipe out shortwave. That is going to wipe out most of the HF band. Definitely going to wipe out CB. And to some extent also AM. But I will say, I'll give credit to our local AM station. Well, I say local, still good 30 miles downrange. But it's 1450, and they have done their part. I was very upset and was getting ready to write Don Curtis a sternly worded letter, but they got that power back on, and they realized they are the hub of information in areas like mine where no cable, no satellite, no nothing. We're living in the dark here. So AM was the place to tune to, and I have very hard time getting reception of that channel as far out as I am. It's just a 1,000-watt station, daytime only. And I use that Kwao Sedong, I think it is, DX286, very sensitive receiver, and you know, you'd move it around and get it right in the right spot. We were able to pick up the information they were relaying, so pretty important stuff. Sorry if I look a little rough today. I haven't shaved in a good while, conserving water, and plus there's no window in our bathroom, so you can't really see in there. This is daytime only operations here on the farm. I guess if that goes another week, I might just stick with the beard for the rest of the winter. We'll see how that plays out. I hope y'all are doing okay wherever you're at during this crisis here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And I do feel for, and my heart reaches out to everyone affected by this storm. Till next time, my friends, take care.